Okay, we're going to call this segment Dressing for the Occasion, because basically there's certain things you need to wear when you're working on a vehicle, or if you're working as a technician. And some of them are optional, some of them you really need to wear. Now, I tried to start with the top of the head of the body so that you'll be sure and we cover everything and don't miss anything. So safety glasses is the first and most important thing. You always want to wear safety glasses anytime you're working on a vehicle. That's the most important component, because you want to protect your eyes. Your eyes you only got two of them, and they got to last a lifetime. Your hair. Some of you guys and girls like to have long hair. If you've got long hair, you need to pull it back in a ponytail, or you need to tie it up. It needs to be up high. It don't need to be hanging down, because there'll be situations where you're going to be leaning over a running engine, and the belts are going to be running and turning. You get your hair into that, you can get it damaged. As you can see, I've got a pretty short haircut. I don't have to worry about that, but some of you have got longer hair, so you need to be sure your hair is pulled back, pulled tight against your head, so that it's not hanging down or flopping around so somebody gets hurt. Jewelry. Personally, I don't think you should wear any jewelry because of the dangers of getting electrocuted. If you get electrocuted and you've got jewelry on, it will literally burn your skin. The jewelry will. That's the reason for that. And I don't have a personal problem with wearing jewelry. I don't wear any myself except for my wedding band. But you don't need to wear jewelry when you're working on a vehicle because of the dangers involved. I definitely think that you should not wear any hanging earrings, any hanging necklaces. If you've got something at all you're wearing, wear ear studs. If you're going to wear a stud in your ear or whatever, that's fine. But I don't recommend anything. You need to be really safe if you're going to do this in an all-day situation working on vehicles. Your shirt, your shirt needs to have sleeves on it. Don't necessarily have to be long sleeve, but you need to try to cover your body best you can, because one thing, you're going to get dirty. You're going to be moving around, walking around on stuff, and you want to keep your body as clean as possible, and also keep from getting scuffed up and hurt. I recommend that you wear your shirt tail in, because if you're laying down, you're going to be, you're going to have to lay down under a car. You want to make sure your shirt tail's in so that you're not going to be scrubbing your body against it and everything, and getting yourself all dirty and injured and hurt. So wear your shirt tail in. Pants, you need to wear long pants all the way down to your ankles so that you don't have any kind of situation where something could hit your legs or damage your legs. Your body needs to be protected. All this includes that. Protection is important. There's certain things that you do in the automotive field where you could get yourself hurt, so I recommend that you wear long pants. The belt that you wear to hold your pants up, you need to be careful with it, because if it has a large buckle on it, if you're leaning up over a fender of a car, you'll scratch the customer's car or scratch your car if you're working on your car. So try to either wear your belt without a buckle on the front, or if you want to turn your belt sideways. Some of the mechanics even turn their belt around so that the buckle is actually to the side, so that when you're leaning up against a car, you're not going to lean that buckle against the metal of the car and damage the car. Socks, you need to wear socks. There again, we're talking about the pants. The socks continues on down to the ankles. In some cases, you might even do some touch welding. I mean, I know you're not a welder, but I personally teach my students how to weld. They're pretty much a self-taught program, and they're not professional welders, but they have to do tack welding occasionally. So, if you're doing any welding, and I have done this before, the slag that comes off the welder can hit the floor, and sometimes it'll bounce over and go into your shoe. If it does that, you need to have socks on. That protects your foot. It still could burn you, but you have time to get that shoe off and get that piece of slag out of your foot before it burns through that sock. So you always need to wear socks. Footwear, I recommend steel-toed shoes. I do understand that steel-toed shoes are expensive. If you can't wear that, make sure you wear a solid-toed shoe. What I mean by that is possibly a boot or a shoe that has a good, solid, firm top on it. You don't need to wear tennis shoes that are soft and cloth top on the top of them, because you could drop something on that foot and break a toe and injure yourself. So you need to be sure you wear something solid. Now, I made little footnotes right here to the right with hearing, gloves, and hat. You need to wear hearing protection if you're in a noisy situation. If you're using an air hammer or maybe a grinder and it's really high intense noise, most of you don't think that you're hurting yourself by listening to loud noise, but over the years, loud noise damages your ears. You're doing damage to them in a slow process. And as you get older, you'll get to where you can't hear. So you want to make sure that you protect your ears. Gloves, again, we had a couple of videos that we showed in this series where I didn't wear gloves. In those situations, I was needing to not wear gloves because I needed to feel what I was working on. In one case was an air conditioning system. But you always need to try to wear gloves to protect your hands from scratches, cuts, and such, and also the heat, because sometimes you're working on a hot engine. You can even buy those automotive gloves, not the plastic throwaway ones, the automotive gloves that you can put on that are cloth and solid. Especially if you're working around exhaust manifolds and a lot of hot stuff, good idea to wear gloves. Hat's another optional item that you can wear if you're going to weld, especially to keep from burning your hair. You need to make sure, in fact, this kind of moves back to the people with long hair. You could pull your hair back up into the hat and put the hat on to protect your hair so that you won't get your hair down into something. So just keep that in mind. These three are kind of optional, but this is some of the components you need to wear to be safe so that you won't get injured in the workplace or working on your own vehicle. So just keep in mind, we're trying to be safe here. The safety is the utmost importance when we're talking about these items right here in this segment. So, hopefully this will give you some ideas as to what you need to do and how you need to dress in the workplace in the automotive field. And I hope this is a help to you.